All right. Good afternoon. My name is Justin Villery. We're very excited for you to join us. We are the Committee of 70. We run these student candidate interviews. This is our first one of the cycle. So we have a primary election coming up in May, on May 20th. And so this is a municipal and judicial election. So this cycle, we're going to be inviting students from Philadelphia and then throughout the Commonwealth to be interviewing candidates on their local ballots. And so today we're very excited to have Irina Ehrlich, I'm sorry, who is joining us. She is a candidate for Philadelphia Court of Common Pleas. And so, Ms. Ehrlich, thank you very much. I'm going to turn it over to Ms. Sammons, who her 12th grade government class at Northeast High School is going to be conducting our interview. So thank you very much to both of you. I appreciate you being here.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much. Welcome to our class. We're very honored to have you here. I guess I would just ask if you could start out by telling us a little bit about yourself and why you're running for judge.
Very well. So my name is Irina Ehrlich, and I'm running for Judge Court of Common Pleas. I've been practicing law for almost 25 years. I started as a prosecutor in Philadelphia District Attorney's Office, and I was a prosecutor from 2000 until 2013. I did a lot of jury trials, went through all the units, did the grand jury work. And then in 2013, I left for private practice. I set up my own firm with focus on criminal defense, immigration, and guardianships. Guardianships, it means that if somebody who is elderly or disabled needs help and a petition is filed and they're seeking a guardian for that person, my job is quasi as a defense attorney, make sure that those people's rights are not taken without due process, because it's very important that everybody has a representation and has a voice in court. As you can all hear my accent, my first two languages are Russian and Ukrainian. I came here as a political refugee from the former Soviet Union, which is now Ukraine, in 1994. I was 21 years old, learned English, went to law school, and that's my legal career. And growing up in the totalitarian country, it was very important to me to make sure that, I understand the laws, I can protect myself, and that was the reason why I went to law school, and also that I can protect other people. And so I really believe that it's very important when you have other people's lives in your hands, whether you are a prosecutor and you have power. That way you don't overcharge, you make sure that the police doesn't overcharge anybody. And as a defense attorney, you make sure that their rights are protected, that you go to court with them and they get the fair trial. So after being a practitioner for 25 years, I think that I have the experience, common sense, which is not so common, and compassion to be a fair judge in Philadelphia. And so that's why I'm running for judge. And I am 52 years old. I have 3 sons. My oldest one is a junior in college, and I have twin boys. They are seniors in high school as well here in Philadelphia. So that's, I hope you guys, if you're over 18, you'll vote for me. And if not, you'll tell your parents. And if you're registered as a Democrat, you can vote on May 20th. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I know I have some questions, but I would love for the students to share any questions that they have. So we'll just go ahead and.
Sure.
It's nice to meet you, and I appreciate the things that you do. I have a question. How do you feel towards the community you serve, and how do you plan on affecting that community?
So I have very diverse client group because I represent people also in immigration court. So I do have a lot of people who either undocumented, that they are dealing with a lot of issues, or family reunification. There's one spouse is a United States citizen, the other one is not, and they're going through the process. Also, I, in addition to being a general defense attorney, I do a lot of court appointments. I am on a court appointed list in federal court and also in state court. And the last 2 years, I primarily do court appointment cases in juvenile court, which I represent young people who get in trouble. And I believe that because I'm in court pretty much every day, I believe that it's very important because you deal with people all the time. And also it gives me an insight as to how we are treating people who have the resources versus people who don't have the resources. And I can tell you from my experience, for example, if somebody comes and hires me and pays me a retainer, those people, if they get in trouble, their families usually can pay cash bail, and the person can be released pending the trial. In my court-appointed cases, I'm appointed to represent people who are indigent. They don't have resources to hire an attorney. Sometimes they get a public defender, but if more than two people are arrested, public defender's office cannot represent both because there is a conflict of interest. And usually I'm appointed state or federal court. And in those cases, because people are indigent, they don't have resources to pay cash bail, and they are staying in custody. I have to file motions. I have to do whatever it takes to get them out. And I don't think it's fair. So it's like one of those things that I can like bring to the bench that I understand as a practitioner, in addition to dealing with people from all over, from different communities. As an immigrant myself, I go to many communities. I was on Saturday at the Chinese Art Festival, talked to the Chinese community. I talked to people, Filipino community. I mean, all over the place, Indians, because all people, everybody has the same concern. Everybody wants to be treated fairly, and that's the bottom line.
Thank you so much. Another question? Okay.
So I want to know are you nervous about running? Do you think you'll win? And how do you think that the transition from being an attorney to being a judge will affect you?
So in the beginning, it was a little bit nerve-wracking because we would have so many events. And even now, like last night, I had 3 events. Tonight, I have 3 events, tomorrow night. So you have to like sort of coordinate and run from one event to the other. And every time you run in and the moderator tells you you have 90 seconds, you have a minute to introduce yourself. And so in the beginning, it was a little difficult because you have to sell yourself. You have to tell people why they should vote for you. I'm getting more comfortable with that. In terms of transitioning to the bench, I have people who will be able to take over my cases if I win, God willing. And I think that because I've been practicing in all the divisions and tried so many cases in so many different areas, I don't think that the transition will be difficult for me. But it will be a different angle because now I represent people and I argue one way. As a judge, you have to be able to apply the law to the facts and listen to both sides and be fair to both sides. And so it's a different function. But being on both sides, being in front of so many judges, I know as a practitioner what I should bring with myself, bring to the bench, and what I should not repeat, because there's so many like judges that are great, and there's judges that, not that great.
Great. Couple more? Yeah.
First of all, thank you for joining us, and I apologize if this is a rather blunt question, but since things such as court and law in general is more considered a male-dominated space, as a woman in this particular workforce, have you ever been like, what's it like working there? Has anyone ever undermined your work? Have you ever been subjected to?
Yes, I have been, and you have to think, you have to have a thick skin, and people would think that, hey, she crossed the ocean and she adapted, so she does have a thick skin, but no. You still, every time when something happens, you have to process it. It just, as you get older, you have more maturity and you understand not to react right away and control yourself. But I'll give you like situations. I was in court, and it's a waiver room where the cases are only cases before the judge, no jury trials. And usually it's like 10, 15 cases scheduled that day. So I was supposed to be in that courtroom, but I also had a sentencing in another courtroom, different floor of the courthouse. So I called the courtroom and I told them that I was going to be a little bit late because I had to go in front of another judge. So instead of 9:30, I came to the courtroom at 10:15. That particular judge was in the middle of another hearing, so it wasn't that I inconvenienced him. While I was waiting for the hearing, 3 other attorneys walked in, all males attorneys, and we all sat together. And then when the court finished the other trial and they started calling each of us to status cases, the judge was very friendly with every male attorney, didn't say anything. When it was my turn, judge told me, Miss Ehrlich, we start at 9:30. I said, yes, Your Honor, I know. And he told me, spread the word that I start at 9:30. So in my mind, I was thinking, well, I'm not wearing an apron. Why are you treating me this way? But, you have to control yourself and not say anything. Because of my accent, a couple of times I walked into courtrooms and people turned to me and said, who are you here to translate for? And I would turn around and say, well, you need help, you don't speak English, and people backed up right away. So yes, there are situations where people sometimes assume things that they should not assume. They have biases, but you have to deal through that. You have to be mature and educate people. That's the other thing. People should understand that sometimes, when somebody walks into the courtroom, and it applies also to clients, to people, because people from different communities, they have different understanding what to expect from court, how to get dressed. And so we should treat everybody with the same respect. And that's what I've also learned over the years. And sometimes my clients, juveniles especially, when they come from broken homes, they have to come to court. I'm the first person who teaches them what they need to do, like how they have to be dressed and how they have to be in the courtroom. Like you stand, you take your hat off, you take your hands out of your pockets, you don't chew gum. That's something that might be very natural to all of us because our parents teach us. But there's a lot of kids, a lot of even adults, they don't know that because there was nobody to teach them that.
Thank you so much. Couple others? Yeah, go ahead. Do you have time? You have some time for us, yes?
I have time. I'm all yours, guys.
All right, yes, Amy.
I was gonna ask, as a judge, would you let your empathy and morals and your values kind of make more of the decision making?
So first of all, as a judge, you have to be fair. So you cannot give more weight to a testimony of somebody because they're a doctor or a lawyer or a police officer. You should treat, and if you guys ever serve as jurors, so you can download the questionnaires for jurors. One of the questions, there's 2 questions. Will you treat the police officers the same way as anybody else? And if a potential juror says no, I'll give police officer more weight or I'll give police officer less weight based on my experience, that person cannot be fair and cannot sit in the courtroom because we should apply the facts to the case and not rely on, because we happen to like that particular person, that we're going to take the testimony over another testimony. It doesn't work this way. And somebody who's been on both sides, I've seen everything. It's everywhere. There are good doctors, there are bad doctors, there are good teachers, bad teachers, there are good police officers, bad police officers. And so you listen to people and you judge their character. And also nowadays with a lot of scientific evidence with the videos and everything, when police officers testify, you can verify everything what they tell you because they all have body cameras. People record them, so it's very easy to verify whether what they're telling is the truth or not.
Any more questions? One more? Okay. Well, I think you've really taught us a lot about yourself and the role of a judge. So I think we can conclude if that's all right with you. If there's any last words you want to say.
Well, I hope you guys will get involved, and if you are 18, you can all go and vote, and I hope you will vote because I know a lot of people complain about the the system, things are not fair. But if you don't do your part, then you cannot change anything, and that's the bottom line. And the municipal elections, judges are very important. I know we're all concerned about our federal government, and it's very important too. But you and your families will deal with the judges here in Philadelphia. And I'm not talking about criminal court judges, it's family court judges. If somebody has a custody proceedings, child custody, divorce, child support, it goes in front of the judge. You want to have a fair judge, the judge who will give the same hearing to a man and to a woman. If you have an issue with real estate, you will go before the judge. You want to have a judge who understands the issues. And obviously with criminal court, it's very important to have somebody who is experienced, who is fair, because the fairness is the most important thing. And I hope you guys will Google me and remember me. It's me. So thank you so much for having me.
Thank you very much, Ms. Ehrlich. Really appreciate your time. Thank you very much, Ms. Salmons. For those watching, a reminder that voter registration deadline is May 5th, and the primary date is May 22nd. Ms. Ehrlich mentioned this earlier.
May 20th.
What did I say? Oh, I'm sorry.
May 20th.
Oh my goodness. All right. May 20th. Sorry. I'm moving through my head too quickly. May 20th is our election date. You have to be registered as either a Democrat or a Republican to vote in the primary elections. And so Ms. Ehrlich is running on the Democratic side. If you are not voted or not registered as a Republican or Democrat, you can still vote in the city ballot questions, but to vote on candidates, that will be something you have to register with the party for. So thank you both very much.
Thank you very
Really
much for
appreciate your
having me.
time.
I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you.